Hey y'all. How is everyone? How y'all doing? Is everybody good? Anything change? Anything new in the week? There's Missy. There's Terry. Hi, Uncle. Oh, excuse me. I am super tired today, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. I saw that picture yesterday on my phone and I snapshotted it. I sent it to myself and I got that on there. And I have a couple more too, but this was the prettiest, my favorite. I like the ones that are like really colorful frame. Like I like it. Oh gosh, excuse me for yawning tonight, y'all. I've been up early since the time change, I'm getting up at 6 instead of 7. Um, because it gets dark an hour early. I haven't gotten any from YouTube. I'll be scrolling and I'll see somebody with a cool picture and then I snapshot it and then I'll crop it out and then I just email it to myself and then I can go onto my computer into my email and download it onto my computer and just upload it. But yeah, like once I use a picture 3 or 4 times, then I'll delete it and find a new one. I try not to have the same shit all the time. I have the same intro, and I tried to get him to make me a new intro, but the way he sent it to me was not able to be used. So I wrote back to him and asked him if he could resend it in a way that I could upload it into my StreamYard, and then he just never did. So I paid him $75 for nothing. So that won't happen again. So we're stuck with the same intro for a while. So, but tonight we're talking about Haunted New Mexico. We are to New Mexico already. The next state is New York, and then North Carolina and North Dakota. And then that's the end of the ends. So New York is next. And I got a new game. I think I told you guys. I got a new game that's very similar to the one that Uncle and I played last, where we have to give you hints. Oh, no, that was me and Missy. We have to give you dirty hints and you guess the word. So it's called something else. It's not even in here. I have it in there on my table. Excuse me. But yeah, I got a new game. So is there anything new or anything before I start? By the way, I thought about this the other day and I'm like, you know what? I read these horoscopes every month. Has anyone's horoscope ever come true? That like, like anybody that comes in and they, because I get the horoscopes. Missy sends me horoscopes and then I'll find some horoscopes online and I kind of take from both of them and I get everybody's horoscopes. But I'm just wondering, has anyone's horoscope ever come true? I'm just wondering. I've had a couple that, like they're talking about a new job or a new career path, which is crazy because I've done that. And that's what I've been working so hard in trying to start working in my new field. I've just got to find my location and I'm working on building my studio. So I'm working on that. So that part of the horoscopes would hit nail on. Like like there's several times that after a horoscope, so I'm like, damn, my horoscope said that. So anyway, I was just wondering if anybody's ever actually come true. No, no, no. Okay. Well, if they ever do, please let me know if they ever do, because I'm interested. I'm interested in see if they ever come true. Oh my God, do you remember you said this in my horoscope and this happened? I would like that. I would like that information. All right. So tonight we were talking about haunted New Mexico, and I have come across the most haunted places. We are doing every state. And we are already to New Mexico. Now, the first one we have is called the Dawson Cemetery, and this is in Cimarron. I guess that's how you say it. Cimarron, Cimarron. Dawson is a ghost town close to Cimarron, but there's very little left now, well apart from the cemetery. Which also just so happens to be one of the most haunted places in New Mexico. Dawson originally sprang up around the large coal mining operation that was run by the Phelps Dodge Corporation. However, the town and the mine were shrouded in death and destruction, so much so that it almost seems fitting that only the cemetery remains. Now, in 1913, a massive explosion killed 263 men, going down in history as one of the worst coal mining tragedies in American history. Hold on just 1 second. Okay. As if that wasn't bad enough, 10 years later in 1923, disaster struck once more at the mine and claimed the lives of 123 remaining miners. Now, 10 years later, the 123 that were killed were some sons of the ones that were killed in 1913. So that's crazy that the father and son would have died the same way. Now, with such massive tragedy, it is no surprise that there are ghost stories here. Common reports include spectral lights believed to be the miners' helmet lights and various apparitions wandering among the graves. Now, I don't do cemeteries very often, but I went with this one. All right, so the Dawson Cemetery is also known as Mount View. This is in Colfax County, which is Cimarron, of the town of Cimarron. Now, it was listed on the National Register of Historical Places on April 9th of 1992. Excuse me. There are 3 sections to this cemetery. All sections are surrounded by barbed wire and iron pipe fence and contains about 600 marked graves. One section is of all the coal miners lost. Another section is of the World War II casualties. And the third section are immigrants from Southern and Eastern Europe and Mexico that died in the war. The entire town is deserted and not much left. There are a few buildings there left that are abandoned and a few homes that people were living in that were abandoned. Now, it says the first explosion killed 263 men, and the second, 10 years later, 123. I don't know how many were sons from the first explosion of losing their fathers. So it was 386 men lost their lives due to explosions total. And out of 386, only 23 survived. And some of them were actually badly damaged. So now, people have claimed to see the lights on their helmets moving around. They've reported hearing men talking and yelling as if they're still working. They hear laughs, moans, and hear voices from every direction. People see full body apparitions wandering around all the time. Orbs are very common. Also, voices, apparitions, laughs. Children are also heard in the buildings and old homes. People claim that the spirits still live there and they've never left. Now, it's still a popular area to visit. Every 2 years, people hold a picnic on Labor Day on the site of the cemetery. And Memorial Day is also a very busy time for the cemetery because the relatives still come to visit their lost ones. So yeah, it's an abandoned town. Nobody lives there. I guess it's not far away from other places because people still go there. I would absolutely go there. I would want to go in all the abandoned buildings and homes and all that. And I would try to use the voice box and all that. You guys know I'd be all over that. So it's sad. It's very sad. Anyway, so the second one I have is called the La Posada Hotel in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Now, it's said to be haunted by the ghost of Julia Staub, the former mistress of the house, which is now part of the hotel. It's said that Julia fell into a deep depression following multiple miscarriages and the death of her only child. This led her to become a shut-in, and she's not only lived the remainder of her life inside the house, but she also died inside the house. It is thought that this has tethered her to the property even in death, and many staff and guests have reported seeing her spirit in the hotel, usually crying in a corner or simply looking forlorn. Now, this was opened in 1930 as the Fred Harvey Hotel. It closed after World War II, and then it fell into disrepair. In the 1990s, it was restored and has since become a thriving boutique hotel, museum, and restaurant. The woman, Julia Staub, resided in the original inn, and she died in the house in 1939. Now, she was the wife of prior owner Abraham Staub. She was pregnant and had a daughter, Henrietta, who died in the home when it was only 2 weeks old. Julia fell into a deep depression. She wouldn't eat, sleep, or even come out of her room. Now, she aged quickly. Her hair turned white, and she was very skinny and frail. Now, she eventually started getting back in the social life, but she was never the same. She ended up being pregnant 2 other times, but miscarried both times. So the child that passed away at 2 weeks old was her only birth. She had 2 miscarriages, and then she ended up living as a recluse and died in her room at age 52. Now, a janitor claims he saw a full-body apparition of a white-haired woman wearing a Victorian gown, standing next to the fireplace in the library. He claims she was very pretty, but she was a very frail woman. Now, both guests and employees still claim to see her ghost all around the home. Most often, though, she is seen in her room, or what was her room then, which I couldn't find like a room number or anything like that, but it just says whatever her room was is what was her room. Guests claim that sheets were ripped off of them while they were sleeping in the middle of the night. The water will turn on and the sink will clog itself, and it will run until the water starts spilling onto the floor. Staff says that people who stay in that room often have checked out in the middle of the night. The strangest occurrence, though, is that a former concierge claims that Julia actually possessed his body, so she could physically lash out at some decorators who were doing a renovation that she did not like. I could not find any other details. I couldn't find him telling the story of what happened, of how long, what happened. I could not find any of that information. People do say that it's said that she's mostly laid back and she keeps to herself, but she will let you know if she doesn't like something. She's not the only ghost here, but she is the most popular and the most seen ghost here. I would absolutely go there and stay in that room. Yeah, huh? I know I ain't the only one either. I know all of y'all would probably go. All right. Plan a trip. All right. We're going to talk about the Chemo Theater. It's K-I-M-O. I don't know if it's Chemo or Chemo Theater. And this is in Albuquerque. Not only is, I'm going to say, let's say Chemo, because theater is a stunning building to look at, but it is also considered to be one of the most haunted in the state. The resident ghost is believed to be a young boy named Bobby who died in the building back in 1951. During a movie screening, the water heater in the lobby exploded, killing the youngster instantly. He is now said to roam the theater, causing all sorts of mischief. In fact, performers have taken to leaving him small gifts and toys to try and occupy him so that his tricks do not interfere with their performances. However, if he is not impressed by the gift, he likes to mess with the electronics and distract the actors, making them fluff their lines. Now, this opened in 1927, and it closed, and then it was restored in the 1970s. It still today hosts live performances, films, and events, and it was added to the National Register for Historic Places in the 90s. I couldn't find the date that it was added. Bobby was 6 years old. And he was in the lobby during this performance, and the hot water heater, I don't know, but it exploded and it was all over him, and it killed him instantly, apparently. He is very mischievous. He will flicker the lights. He will trip actors and the guests. He will make the equipment fall. He will shut the lights completely off during a performance, and has even messed with audience members as well. Performers and staff will leave him gifts at the altar that was made for him at the location in the lobby where he passed away. If he is happy with the gift, he will behave and play with the gift at a distance. Even visitors and audience members have been known to bring him gifts when they come for a show. There is also said to be a second female spirit on the second floor. She died up there at what used to be a cafe back in the day. Now, she is seen all over the theater, but mostly upstairs. She will be wandering around, or it appears that she paces. Maybe she feels stuck there. I couldn't find her death. I couldn't find it. So I don't have any other information about that. Trying to slow down. All right, so Atoka School in Artesia. It's Atoka, Atoka. I guess that's how you say it. I never claimed, and I don't know. Anyway, Atoka School. One of the creepiest things about Atoka School is that it more or less just closed overnight, and to this day, nobody actually seems to know why. Did something terrible happen there? Is that why it's so haunted? Nobody seems to know. In fact, the school is not the only establishment to close down rapidly in this building. Over the years, it has served a number of purposes, and every single time the business has closed more or less overnight with little to no warning. These days, it's a popular place for teenagers to hang out and try to scare each other. They usually don't have to try very hard, since most who have visited said that there's a dark energy that lives in the walls, and many report having heard groans, snarls, and what can only be described as demonic voices. Now, in my research, I couldn't find anything about the exact year this school was built, but apparently the land that it was built on was originally part of the Choctaw Nation. So it belonged to the Indians. Now, the first public school was opened there in 1894, followed by the Atoka Public Schools in 1918 for the grades kindergarten through 12. Don't know if anything was on there beforehand. But people seem to believe it was an Indian burial ground at this location. Now, couldn't find any reasons why schools just shut down. People claim that it's built on top of the Choctaw burial ground, and the spirits haunt it constantly because they aren't happy that it's there. Apparitions are seen daily. You hear yelling, singing, running, you see orbs, you smell fires, pipes, and tobacco when there's nothing there. Doors will slam, chairs flip over. Some hear what sounds like fingernails on the chalkboard. Cold spots, children. One claims to have seen an Indian chief in full headdress. I'd go there. I can't find any, like the story over here claims that it can only be demonic voice. I haven't found anything where people have made any claims to hear anything. Like, I couldn't find any of that. I couldn't find anything about a burial ground, but people believe that it's on a burial ground, and that's why it's been haunted constantly, which it could make sense because a lot of the old Indian land, this is part of the Choctaw Nation, so it was the American Indians, and they had so many burial grounds. You don't know what to believe with this one. I could not find a whole lot of information on it to show facts. Now, I try to look up the information to show facts, I couldn't find anything. That's all I've got on that one. So I apologize. I couldn't find much on that. Now I've got the Luna Mansion, and this is in Los Lunas. The Luna Mansion is said to be haunted by Josefita Otero, who died in 1951 at the age of 77. She was responsible for overseeing renovations to the mansion, which could be why she is still hanging out. The location is fairly pleased that she has remained and gone out of their way to embrace their paranormal reputation. They have even gone so far as to rename the room of which Josefita appears the Spirit Lounge. Josefita is frequently seen walking the staircase and sitting in her rocking chair in the Spirit Lounge. Now, I found it was built in 1881. It belonged to the Luna and Otero families and became a landmark representing the namesake of Los Lunas. In the early 1900s, Eduardo and Josefita Otero took over the house, and she added a two-story columned porch. It became a fine dining restaurant until it closed in 2020. The current owners are Pete and Hortensia Torres, who bought this in 2009 and kept it the restaurant and closed it in 2020. Now, it's said that Josefita was an artist. Actually, apparently they were both artists. And she painted all around the home, which is still there. She painted murals. What do you call them things? Murals. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? She painted the things on the fucking wall. Murals. Okay. Anyway, she painted those all around the house. He would do sculptures. He was the sculptor. So he did sculptures, and she would sell the sculptures, and there's still sculptures all around this house. Okay. All of her paintings, the murals, are still on the wall all throughout this home. She always wore white, tan, or yellow. She felt that she looked best in light colors. She never wore jewelry except for her wedding ring, which she wouldn't take off. She kept her hair in a bun. She did not like bright lights. She was a recluse. She only went outside when needed. She died in the home she loved so much and has never left. She's often seen looking out of the windows of the second floor. One claims that she met Josefita face to face on the staircase. Josefita did not want to move out of her way. She first thought it was a real person. She was blocked each time she tried to step around. She claimed that she finally stepped around quickly and walked up, and she went right through her. She felt scared and started freezing. She said she continued up, and Josefita just stood there looking at her from the staircase. This girl claimed she was so scared she wouldn't go back down the stairs until she knew she didn't see her anymore. Staff claim they will put new bulbs in the lights and lamps, and they say by the next morning, all of the bulbs will be unscrewed and lying down on the tables. Showers turn on and off. The microwave buttons push, but it will never turn on. The plates, glasses, or silverware will be pushed to the floor. Josephita can be seen rocking in a rocking chair in what was her room and on the porch that she had added. So apparently she likes to sit on that porch, and apparently she has a rocking chair in what used to be her room. I would go there too. I'd like to stay in that room, please. Nope. Okay, where am I? Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that one would be interesting. Murals. That's how you say it. I was having a brain fog, something. I couldn't talk well. Anyway, the old Bernalillo County Courthouse, and this is in Albuquerque. Now, this courthouse was built in 1926, and over the years, it has garnered a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the land of enchantment. In particular, in the basement of the building, which is said to be extremely haunted. Witnesses have reported seeing flickering lights, encountering cold spots, and mysterious gusts of wind inside. In fact, the courthouse has such a reputation for being a paranormal hotspot that has also been used as a haunted house attraction at Halloween time. Now, it is said there is a ghostly little girl in a school uniform with blonde braids. Now, people claim cold spots, lights turn on and off by themselves, an old law book that has been known to be hurled at people walking by. Taped boxes that were closed will open themselves, and everything inside of them will be scattered about. It's said that this little girl was killed in an accident over a custody battle. A shootout occurred inside the courtroom between the two, and she was caught in the crossfire. She ran down the stairs and died in the staircase on the way to the basement. I don't know how old she was. I can't explain a mysterious gust of wind. It claims that there's no windows open, no doors that will open, and there's no ceiling fans. But all of a sudden, you'll feel a gust of wind inside. That's odd. They also claim that there is an older woman that also is only seen on the second floor or in that staircase, going from the first to second floor. I couldn't find on the reasoning, but apparently a woman hung herself in the stairwell. Couldn't find the reason why. I couldn't find why or when or the reason it happened. There's just a lot of, I couldn't find a lot of information on some of these. So I gave up. It sucks. I'd still go there though. I'd go to that courthouse, and I would be trying to find out all of their, what's their name? How old are you? What was the purpose? You know what I mean? Like I would be trying to find out why and what happened and how did that go down and what were you guilty of, or Whatever the case may be, I'd be trying to find out what it is. Because I'm nosy and I want to know. Mm-hmm. Now, the last one I have information on is the Schaefer Hotel. This is in Mountain Air. Many people are put off by the Schaefer Hotel in Mountain Air because of the swastikas carved in the facade. However, it's important to remember that the symbol is 3,000 years old, and this building was constructed long before World War II when it came to symbolize such horror and atrocity. If anything should put guests off spending the night, it is not the swastikas, but rather the fact that this is one of the most haunted locations in New Mexico. The Schaefer Hotel is so haunted that it had actually hosted paranormal conferences in the past. I couldn't find any information about no conferences, but it had many owners and many managers. Clem and Lena Schaefer, prior owners, both artists, and both died in the hotel. Both are still there. They are the most frequent seen, but there are several ghosts there. Artwork has been moved or turned over. Lights always turn on. Always. When you turn a light off, the light comes right back on. They are always back on. The Schaefer's artwork is there, and it's like they want it on display. If a sculpture is moved, it's always moved back to the original position. Doors open. Lights always come on. Doors will lock themselves. Keys, phones, and items are moved to different spots. Visitors claim to be touched. They feel cold spots, and sometimes they will feel sad all of a sudden. Some claim that they have heard whispering right behind them, and then they turn around, nobody's there. Some claim they have seen apparitions watching them from a distance. People claim that these spirits seem friendly, but they definitely do not want their things moved or touched. Couldn't find out much more information. Couldn't find out what kind of artwork. But that's crazy. That's crazy. It's like they never left. That you go in one day, you turn the lights off to close up, and then boom, the light comes right back on. That's crazy. I wonder what would happen if you took the light bulb, like if you unscrew the light bulb and took it out. Like in the other house, she wanted darkness. So you turn the lights on or screw in new bulbs, and they're all unscrewed and laying on the table by the next morning. How crazy is that shit? That's just the opposite. Says guests often report seeing flashing lights and strange shapes and shadows flittering around inside. And that's all I've got on this. So I can move that out of my way. Now, they have the Urraca Mesa, or Eureka Mesa, Urraca Mesa, and this is in Angel Fire, New Mexico. Now, this is found on the Philmont Scout Ranch, a property near Angel Fire that is owned by the Boy Scouts of America. However, the legend that is linked to this location is much more than the campfire ghost story. The land was originally occupied by Native American tribes who believed that Urraca Mesa is actually a gateway to the demon realm, the realm, or to put it in more simple terms, the mouth of hell. That one I don't think I'd like to go to. I don't want to go anywhere where there's, listen, if I walk into a place and I feel evil there, I'm out. I'm going to leave. I'm not like Zach Bagans and search out evil and go and try to make contact with it. I don't do evil. I ain't fucking with evil. If I feel there's evil there, I'm out. Which I can usually feel something dark within the first 5 minutes of being at a location. If I know there's something evil there, I'm going to back out. I'll go sit in the car, whatever. I'm not taking any chance of something following me home. I'm not going to take any chance of something trying to possess me or anything of that kind of, that I'm just not going to open myself to the evil. No, why I said eagle, but you know what I mean. If I feel there's evil there, I'm backing up, and I'm going to go sit in the car and wait for whoever I'm with is ready to go. I ain't fucking with no evil. Yeah, no, I'm out. I'm just not. I can have a ghost hunting show all day long, but you take me to a place there's evil, and that's gonna be a week skipped. There ain't gonna be anything happening on that week. Because think about it. Think about when Zach Bagans and all them started. They didn't deal with evil. They started doing the paranormal investigations. They never did evil. Remember? Now watch them. That's all that's all they're doing now, is going and finding evil stuff and calling in preachers and whatever it is that they're doing to try to help these people. Now I'm sorry. I will call you a preacher or priest or whatever it may be, but I ain't going to the location. I'm not going to be that one to go there. So if whoever wants to go, y'all can tell me about it later. I'm not going to be the one to go there. Now, there's one here called the Albuquerque Press Club. I haven't watched them in a long time either, because you guys have heard me say it before. Listen, I love watching paranormal, and I have two paranormal teams that I really enjoy watching. And I can never think of the name of the ones. But they're out of Tennessee, and it's a ghost hunting team out of Tennessee, and it's like 3 or 4 guys, and they're Christians, and they say a prayer at the beginning of each one, and they don't mess with evil, and they go in and they go to these different locations, and I really enjoy, because I don't feel like they're faking stuff. If they go to a location and nothing is happening, they're going to say this place is, I feel there might be a spirit or two here, but they're not faking shit. They will say that nothing's going on there. Who is the other ones? And it's a popular name too, and it's not Ghost Adventures. That's Zach and Aaron and anyway, it's a bald guy with a beard. I enjoy watching them too. Um, Ghost Hunt, or I don't even know what it is, but anyway, that's the two teams I enjoy watching. And I enjoyed watching Zach and Aaron and all them in the beginning. I really did enjoy them a lot because they were the type that they weren't faking all that stuff. You can't tell me that every single place you go to has that much activity. It doesn't happen that way. Ghost hunting is like fishing. I used to tell Patty this, and I tell people this all the time. Ghost hunting to me is like fishing. You go to a fishing hole and you're either having a really good day and catching a whole lot of stuff, or you ain't catching shit. You get one or two little bites here and there. You know what I mean? You never know if you can go to a place that's super haunted, but they might not be active on that certain day that you go. They might not be active in there every single day. You can go to one place 5 days in a row and not one of the same thing will happen. You see what I'm saying? Like that's just not ghost hunting. You do not get that much activity at every single location you go to. And I'm the first one that's going to be honest about it. And I'll be the first one to go, well, this is very well-known place, but today I came in and not much happened. Oh my God, tonight this happened and this happened. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be honest at what happened. We got a few voices come through, just like you guys have seen me do on a ghost hunt so far. That's how I'm going to be. I'm going to continue to be honest about it. And I don't like people who go in and fake shit. So that's why I don't watch Ghost Adventures anymore, because you watch them go from what they were and enjoyable to all this. Look at the difference and when they started and how they are now. And it's like all of what they catch at every location. That's a bunch of crap. Now, I do feel bad, however, because I do like, I'm not saying Zach Baggins is a bad guy or the Aaron. They're doing well in their show. I don't know how many seasons they're on now. Good for them. And if that's what it takes, they're doing what they got to do to have a successful show, and they've done it right. I do feel bad for what Aaron went through. I'm sure everyone has heard about it by now, that Aaron's wife was having a hitman try to go and murder him. And she got caught. It was an undercover that she was trying to hire, and she was giving their shooting locations and everything on this is where he's going to be from this date to this date at this address. But they've gone to court. She's got however many years she got. But I felt bad for him. I felt bad that he was going through all this, and like he had a word to say to her in the courtroom, and she was all boo-hoo. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're not. No, you're not, or you wouldn't have done it. Just fucking, if you're not happy in a marriage, just fucking get a divorce. What the fuck? But he doesn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. I don't care what they're doing. That's just ridiculous. And she's a piece of shit. But anyway, but the next one I have is called the Albuquerque Press Club. This is housed in what was formerly the Whittlesey House. It was built in 1903 as a family residence. Here, I'll even show you the picture of the house. Okay. Whittlesey. It's a 3-story property built in the same manner as a Norwegian villa with low-pitched roofs, exposed log fronting, and rough-cut log facades. It's very rustic look and was far removed from the family's previous residence in Chicago. When it was first built, it stood on its own since the town had not yet grown out towards that area. There would not have been any vegetation or trees in that area either, which gave the property fantastic views of the Sandias, the river, and the volcanoes. In short, the location is pretty picturesque, which seems at odds with the fact that the building is considered to be one of the most haunted places in the state. The house is now a private club, the Albuquerque Press Club, and it's said to be haunted by the spirit known as Mrs. M. The ghost is said to appear in the form of a woman in a black shawl. Regulars have reported hearing the sound of her high heels on the floor and say that the piano can often be heard playing on its own. I'd go there. I'd go to that one. It was a cute little place. It's 3-story. It looks big. It's like a piece of it is a log cabin connected to the house. It's almost like they added on. I don't know how well y'all can see it. And that one, see? It's like a house with a log cabin added on. See it? Oh. Oops, I must have touched it and it moved. Shit. What'd I do? What'd I touch? Okay. Anyway. Let me get down here where I was. Come on. All right. Now, and number 10 is the Santa Fe State Penitentiary in Santa Fe. While it was in operation, Santa Fe Penitentiary housed some of the very worst criminals in New Mexico. It was also the site of the most violent prison riot in the history of the U.S. Records indicate that during this riot, there were 33 people killed and more than 200 inmates were treated for serious injuries. During the riot alone, people were burned alive, brutally attacked, and murdered in cold blood, and that is before we even take into consideration the deaths that would have occurred during everyday prison life outside of the riot. To say that this place had some bad juju associated with it would probably be something of an understatement. Tours are available in both standard and paranormal formats, and many visitors say that they've been followed home by some of the dark spirits that reside here. I don't want none to follow my ass home. It says here, New Mexico has a long and rich history. It's no surprise that it has a number of haunted locations. They call it home. In fact, New Mexico is regarded by many to be one of the most haunted states in the U.S. Excuse me. If you want to take your ghost hunting to the next level, excuse me. This state also is home to some of the most haunted hotels in the country. Albuquerque is apparently the most haunted city in New Mexico. Albuquerque is a city that lives and breathes the Old West whilst embracing the new. Being such an historic area, Albuquerque is home to quite a few legends and ghost stories. Just what haunts are hiding here? Find out below just what makes Albuquerque so haunted. Learn more. Let's see. Let's click on that. All right. Apparently there's a haunted hall. There is the Church Street Cafe. Is an 18-room hacienda, which was originally built back in the 1700s as a private residence for the Ruiz family. In fact, for almost 200 years, the building was known as the Casa de Ruiz. It is believed to be one of the oldest buildings in the state of New Mexico and has remained in the Ruiz family until its last living member, Rufina Ruiz, passed away at the grand old age of 91 in the early 90s. Hi, Spirit Stalker. It's safe to say that the family loved this home. Shortly after Rufina passed away, Mary Coleman snapped up the property and renovated works got underway to create the Church Street Cafe. It was at this time that the first hauntings began. The house was inhabited by the spirit of Sarah Ruiz, who had been Rufina's mother and something of a healer. She was not at all pleased that her beloved home was being ripped apart right in front of her, and she made this very clear. Maria has described how the female apparition would scream at her to get him out of here now whenever she tried to bring contractors over to price up the work. Eventually, she did manage to hire a construction team, but they were constantly interrupted by tools being moved or kicked around the house. Eventually, Maria started to communicate with Sarah's ghost, and now they seem to have agreed an uneasy truce. Sarah is by no means gone. In fact, employees say that they often see Sarah in a long black dress, and even some customers have reported feeling her presence in the cafe. Hotel Andaluz. Fun fact, Conrad Hilton is actually from New Mexico, and the Hotel Andaluz in Albuquerque was actually one of his first hotels, number 4 in his portfolio to be exact. It opened in 1939. It was the very first building in New Mexico to have air conditioning. Over the years, the hotel has been renovated and upgraded, and it now features on the National Register of Historic Places. Luxury is the name of the game here, but no amount of grandeur can cover up the paranormal activity happening in the building. Guests often complain that their jewelry is moved about during the night, and many have complained of being woken up by the sound of a woman screaming in their room. Here's a library, children's hospital. Goodness gracious. Carrie Tingley Children's Hospital was first opened in 1910 by Clyde Tingley and his wife, Carrie Worcester Tingley. There were children treated there for a variety of different ailments, including TB, which is tuberculosis, scoliosis, and spina bifida. The hospital is now merged with the UNM medical facilities, but the ghosts of the past still linger. In some of the unused sections of the building, people have reported seeing glowing lights filtering out from under the doors. There's also fairly regular reports of invisible energy fields or barriers that make it difficult, if not impossible, for people to pass through certain doors and or hallways. In the oldest parts of the hospital, people also say that they have experienced the disembodied voices and sometimes sobbing of children. Others say they have heard heartbeats almost like hearing a baby on an ultrasound. Finally, on a handful of occasions, people have also seen figures in black robes in dark hallways around the hospital. And here's what I like: insane asylums. This is an abandoned insane asylum, one of the most haunted places in Albuquerque, and also one of the most closely guarded secrets. Even some Albuquerque locals do not know about the abandoned insane asylum that sits on the corner of Edith and Osuna. It's actually owned by neighbors, and they take trespassing very seriously, so even those in the know tend to stay away. Excuse me. However, there have been a handful of brave souls who have risked a visit and returned with tales of the paranormal. One common story is that a large black figure follows those who enter the asylum, and this has also been captured in a number of photographs taken in the building. Many believe that the hauntings can be pinned on the fact that a former doctor, sometimes referred to as Dr. Samuel, used to conduct inhumane experiments on his patients, often killing them in the process. Don't freeze up again on me. Okay. Where'd it go? The bodies would then be dumped in the basement to be disposed of later. When it seemed that his crimes were about to be uncovered, the doctor went down to that same basement and hung himself. So he got away with all the shit he was doing because he took his own life and didn't have to pay for shit. Here's a hotel. Oh, it's the last one. I'll read that. It may not look like much at first glance, but the Hotel Park is actually one of the more grand hotels in New Mexico. It also happened to be one of the most haunted in Albuquerque. If you spend an evening sitting in the roof apothecary lounge, yeah, because I was boring, I guess. With its breathtaking views out across the city to the mountain backdrop, then you may find that claim a little hard to swallow. However, Hotel Park has a darker side. The building was not always a hotel. Originally, it served as a hospital which served railroad employees. Sometime in the 80s, it was renamed Memorial Hospital and became a psychiatric unit. Even then, there were claims of hauntings. Patients would insist that they were disturbed in the night by unseen hands tugging at their bed sheets, but few were willing to believe them given their mental health status. However, now that paying hotel guests and are having similar experiences, it all seems a little bit more credible. So I guess you can stay here still. I'd go. I'd stay there. That's all I got for tonight, y'all. New Mexico's haunted as fuck. It sure is. Come on. Yes, it is. Oh my God. I bought this tablet and I just would like a tablet that moves quicker than a fucking snail. Come on. Oh, thank you, Missy. I just saw that you sent the New York City already. Thank you. You're awesome. But yeah, so yeah, tomorrow I got some stuff to do, and I got a picture to draw before, because I don't know if you guys, Uncle, you're on Facebook. I don't know if you see me posting the photos they're not photos. I freehand. I'm freehanding artwork, I guess you would call it, or whatever. But I'm making drawings, freehand, and I actually had a request for like a pirate ship with a compass, and then they asked me if I would be able to include like a pirate map, and I did. Like, she's bought these 3 in a series, so I sold those. She's given them to her husband for Christmas. And I'm doing these drawings. Do y'all want to see them? I can go and get them and show them to you. This is one of them. This is one of them. This is sold. I need to draw this tomorrow, though, on white. This is a black background, so I need to draw this on white. But I sold this one, and she's picking it up on Friday. And all of my paintings are $20. So I'm drawing a whole bunch, and a friend of mine, apparently they are doing very well on TikTok, and he told me that I should make a TikTok shop and put my paintings on there and sell them, and even go live and draw on the live, and they can see that you're drawing it. So I'm thinking about that. So I'm drawing a bunch, but I've sold. There's 2 going to Oregon. There's another one that I sold one's going to Maryland. Then that one girl, then my friend bought 2, this one and my donkey. And then, so that's the 2 and 3, and then those 2, and then the 3 with the ship. So I've sold 8. But I didn't know I could draw. I never knew I could draw, and a lot of the things that I draw are like silly, frazzled, like Mondays, like, oh shit, it's Monday type shit. You know what I mean? Like a frazzled cat or a frazzled dog, or anyway. People seem to like them. And I'm still working at the Dollar Tree, and then I've been at the PD as well, because I went and I worked the Veterans Day parade on the 2 days ago. Yesterday. Yes, that was fucking yesterday. So is it right? Yesterday was the 11th, right? Yes, that was yesterday. I worked the parade yesterday at the PD, and then I was there for a few things in the parade last month. And I'm still trying to get my studio built so I can work in my new career thing that I went to school with. And I have a friend of mine who had braces, and she's getting her braces off, and she wants me to do her limp tint when she gets her braces off. So I think next month, she's getting them off this month. So I think she wants me to do the lip tint in December. So that's but her I'll bring to my house. Like, there's other people I'm not going to just bring into my house if I don't know them. You know what I mean? I don't want to, I can't even advertise myself yet because I don't have a place to do it. So I'm still working on a location. But I started drawing. I didn't realize I could draw, and I'm having a good time. And I just sit there and I just draw. Whatever's in my head, and I just draw it. And it's relaxing, and people seem to like them. So I'm selling some of my drawings. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's and I'm known to draw silly stuff. I mean, like this is not, it's like it's just I don't know what the fuck you call that. It's just a unicorn with bright colors on, but she's paying $20 for it. She likes it. So, okay. That went over well. So I'm going to redraw that on white tomorrow. I'm going to make it a black horse with the different color things, a different color mane and stuff. And see. So, yeah, I'm just trying to draw a whole bunch of stuff today. I did another little cat. I did a little frazzled cat, like a gray and white cat with a pink bow and pink mittens and a pink flower. And I don't know. Yesterday I drew one of those. To me, it was like a Highland cow is what I had in my mind. You know, those Highland cows with the little mini cows with the long hair, and so I did a little Highland cow yesterday, and people seem to like that one too. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. If you want to see them, I can run get them real quick before I end, and you guys can see. But I'm going to draw him tomorrow. So I'll have another unicorn. And oh, well, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. It gets him out of the house. He's keeping busy and he's earning a little money. Fuck it. Go for it. I'm working at Dollar Tree part-time and I'm retired. Come on. That's good for him. Good for him. Your mom was probably like, you need to go find a job. Kibby! What do you mean sounds like some of your new hybrid? I miss you, Kibby. You're not in here very much anymore. What you doing? Are you working? You know what? Who did I just find? Lance Hernandez. You remember Lance Hernandez, Kibby? He showed up on my Facebook and I was like, boop, friend request. And he added me within 30 minutes. I was like, how are you? Oh my God, I trained him. I was his FTO. He was awesome. I haven't seen him since I left the damn Keys. You figured he would do that? Well, good for him, though. That's good. Man, he's bored. Oh! Mom went and got my paintings. There's some of them I can't show. You know some. Yeah, this is I didn't bring them all. No, that's fine. This is a few of my paintings. My mom was in there and heard me. Oh, so she brought me a couple. Like this is the one I drew today. Does it? Isn't she cute? Just this little kitty cat. No big deal. You have 4 horses now. All right, so here's my little Highland cow that I drew yesterday. Look how cute she is. With her long hair. So I drew her yesterday. And then I drew her day before yesterday. And she's just like a little fairy. And I made her in a leaf dress with the leaf things on. And she has the fairy face and the ears. So I drew her and I freehand all of these. And of course, he's plain, but I named him Wilbur. He looks like my little Wilbur. He's just a plain little, he's cute. Oh, and I drew this girl. She's just a little dragon girl with a whole bunch of different colors. But look at her eyes. She saw some of my paintings, really? Oh, tell her thank you. Okay, so I don't have all 3 of them here, and he's probably not watching. So I'm going to show you guys. So I told you guys about the pirate ship, and she ordered 3, right? So the first one I drew isn't in this one, but this is the second one. The swords, right? That's the second one. And then she told me she wanted me to incorporate the map. So I did the ship with a different type of a compass. And then I incorporated a map. And I even did, what's it called? Hold on. Skull Rock. Parrot. But dang it, where's the camera? Parrot Bay. Fairy Hills. Anchor Port. So that's 2 of the 3 that she ordered. So anyway, that's just a few. That's just a few of them that well, thank you, Kibby. I didn't even realize I could draw. I don't even remember how it started. I started drawing out in the barn when I built the barn for the babies. And I would just draw on pictures. And I realized that I could draw. So I I got one of these things, the canvas. And then I started drawing on it. And I was like, holy shit. So, and it's silly stuff, but it's silly. It's not, I'm never claiming to be no professional. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people can do people. Like I'm not good with people and their faces, and I can do like a frazzled, stuff. So, but I'm just making a whole bunch of drawings, and I'm going to put them out there like on a TikTok shop or something and see what happens with it. I still have several more in there. But yes, please tell your wife I said thank you. I'm just trying I draw different animals and the babies and the big eyes, and I like to draw things that when people walk by it, they'll be, oh, and they smile at it. I just want to make stuff that people, when look at it, they smile. And I'm starting to just try to veer off and do other things and try new things and stuff. And like the fantasy, like the dragon, this baby dragon girl. I'm trying to do like little fantasy stuff. You know what I mean? Like different stuff that's different. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know. But I'm still learning. But anyway, that's all I've been doing. I just I try to do one photo a day. Um, and if I actually have a relaxing day and I finish one, I can start another one. And I've actually done 2 in one day. Um, so I don't know. But with, excuse me, working with the PD and Dollar Tree and taking care of the babies and my chores and pools and all that here, I still don't have a lot of time to draw. So a lot of that is after I close up the barn and I come in and I sit and relax until I start to get sleepy from like 6:30 to 8:30, 9 o'clock. I sit there and draw until I get sleepy. So, other than that, I'm just still, I can't really advertise my new certifications and what I'm doing yet because I don't have a location. People I know I'll bring into my home, but people I don't know I'm not bringing into my home. And but I'm doing my scar and stretch mark rejuvenation and camouflage and tooth gemming and stuff like that. So yeah. But I'm busy constantly busy. Like I'm supposed to be off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But Tuesday I was at the PD. Today I had chores and everything. Tomorrow I'm going to finish up my chores and do a couple things. Friday I was supposed to have off. I picked up 5 hours. So now I'm working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'll be off Monday. But I'll take those extra 5 hours if she's got them. So I was like, yeah, I'll take them. Thank you for offering. So anyway, I'm about ready to get off of here. I'm sleepy. I'm probably not going to stay on Clapper either because I'm sleepy. Barn's already closed though. And the babies are in the kennels. So I'm just going to get Topaz out and go lay down. So I will be on next Wednesday since I work Sunday night. But I'll be talking to you guys before then, I'm sure. And I might even do a live on TikTok now while I'm drawing. See how that goes. Maybe. I don't know when. So I'll let y'all know if I do. But thank you guys so much for joining us here tonight. Oh. You know what, though? And congratulations. That's so exciting. And then I will be a great aunt probably by this time next month, too, because Terry's daughter, oh my God, she went to the hospital. Yes. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. She went to the hospital. I guess it was a false labor, but she got sent home. So we were like, oh my God. So I'm going to be a great aunt here soon, I think, with Terry's daughter. So me and Annie will be making a trip down and videotaping all that and putting that out there of our great nephew, because she's expecting a boy. But please send me pictures, Spirit Stalker. I know you have my phone number. I'd like to see your great grandbaby. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining and talking about New Mexico. New York is the next one. Next Sunday, I'll see what we're going to do. I got a new game that we can play too. So we'll see what's going on. I love you guys. I will talk to you guys next week.